Alright, how to take apart or take the spindle off, the rotors off, so you can take the rotors and the hub off the spindle so you can turn the rotors. I changed brakes on this side, it all went smoothly, everything was good. I changed on the other side and found that it was metal on one of the pads on the inside, so I got to take the rotors off to get them turned. And because this is what, a Dana 60 with the manual locking hubs, to start by taking this thing off, I took the brake caliper kit off, or the brake calipers off here. There's two pins that hold it in here. You just tap them out. It goes right here. They tap out. You take a screwdriver, tap them all the way out, put them in there. This whole thing comes out. Put it somewhere where it's not going to fall. I should tie it up just so my kids don't get a hold of it and knock it off, because you don't want all that weight on this. But it's balanced pretty good there. Next thing I'm going to do is take my Allen wrench. I'm going to undo the 6 Allen screws out of the top of the cap here. Okay, I'm taking the last screw out. As soon as that thing comes out right there, I'm going to put this on the ground. There's a couple of things behind it. We don't need to worry about that. Nothing's going to fall out of there. Got our cap screws out there. Next thing you got to do is undo that Phillips screwdriver right there so that this ring will come out. Okay, so let's get that thing out. See if I can do it without dropping everything. There's our little screw. Here's our collet. I don't think that thing matters which way it goes. There's a spring behind it. Oops, let's point the camera right. Take that spring out. The next thing we got to get is that snap ring out of the way. Okay, I got a pair of snap ring pliers. I've seen people do this with regular cheesy needle nose pliers, but I gotta tell you, it's tough enough with the right tool. I don't know how they do it with a pair of like hobbyist pliers or something. That snap ring is off. The next one we gotta get is there's a snap ring in here. You can see the edge of it there, and it runs the circumference in here, and it doesn't take snap ring pliers. It takes a little pair of screwdriver or something to get in there. I'm trying to work on this and hold the camera at the same time, but you can see it in there. If you can get that guy worked up, you can start, and I'm going to need both hands to do it, but you get that snap ring out, and you'll be good to go. This whole thing comes out here next. Alright, I just spent a couple of minutes trying to get that thing loose. But you can see I've got it started right there. And you can see this got a little bit of a beveled edge. And you can kind of work your screwdriver on it. Once you get it loose, you can just walk it all the way around and get that guy out. Kind of wiggle and pull. Probably going to need both hands for this too, maybe. Ah, perfect. So once it's out, now what comes out next? You can see we need to get that lock ring out. That's going to be a little tougher. This thing comes out next. Okay, this larger gear, to get it out, I actually had to put the little Phillips screwdriver in. Gives you enough traction to pull that guy out. Time for some new grease on there, that's for sure. And now comes the real beast. That ring right there has got 4 recessed lugs in it. Takes a special tool, special socket to get it out. Let me go get that socket. Alright, I've got 2. Here's one socket right here. I believe it's a 2.5 inch inside diameter from inside to inside. This one's more of a pin lug. This one's more of just a square lug. But either way, it'll fit in there and get that off. I got my breaker bar to put on it, and you just have to put that specialty socket in there to get it off. It's hard to find that socket. I spent 2 days trying to find them. Finally ended up borrowing these from my mechanic, who I'm sure is not thrilled that I'm working on my own stuff, much less borrowing his tools, so that he doesn't make money off of me. But I'm going to take him the rotors and have him turn them, because he's got a lathe there. So my next step will be to take that off. Okay, I got it loosened up. It should come right out by finger. This thing unscrews. Now this is basically a nut and a nut. This isn't the nut that holds the whole spindle on. it backs up tightly against the main nut that's on there to keep it from loosening and to keep your bearing pressure set right. So we take that guy off, nothing special about that. We'll put him here. This is the trickier part. Well, it's trickier in the sense you don't really know what's there. But you look at that and you go, how do you get that off? It takes another tool. No, this is just a washer. This thing with all the holes in it is a little washer, a flat washer, and I'm probably going to need both hands to get it off again, but I'll see if I can use a snap ring tool to do it. No, I'm going to have to pause it and put the phone down. Okay, got it out. Took both hands, a little bit of fussing, but there it is. Again, I've seen guys do this with a little pair of hobbyist needle nose, but I'm not that guy. You can see there's a little lug on the inside that fits inside of the one hole there on the right. That is where that lug goes. And now, the same tool that you use to get the safety ring off, the safety nut, will now do the big one. Again, I'm going to have to use my socket. I think it's officially called a Spindle Hub Nut Socket. You can find them on eBay for about 40 bucks. You can rent them at most places like Kragen or something like that, but they only have the smaller ones. I can't find O'Reilly's, Kragen, CarQuest, AutoZone, Napa. Nobody had the 2.5-inch one for the full-size older trucks, the full-size older F350s. Found one that was for a Toyota that was the right size, but it was a short depth one. And somehow at Napa, that's listed as the right one for the Fords. It's not. You order it, you'll get it a day later and find out you're screwed because it's the wrong size. Same size this way, but not this way. It's not going to fit over this thing here. So don't let Napa actually sell you the Toyota one. They were good about it. They took it right back, but just delayed things a while. So next project, get this off. Okay, got the main nut off. There it is. We'll put it right down there. In fact, now that I look at it, I don't know what the difference between the two is. Could be the same thing. I think they may be. Anyway, well, we'll find out when I try and put it back together. No, they're the same. That'll be fine. And there you can see your inner bearings are right there, your bearing race. Time for some new grease in here. Next step, you just grab this thing and pull it off. It should slide right off without any problems. It's going to take both hands. That thing is heavy. As my socket rolls away. This thing is heavy, and I'm going to put a towel down just so I don't make a mess. The inner bearing, the inner race here with the bearing set is going to want to fall out. So just kind of keep your hand right here as you pull it out. The ones on the inner side versus the outer side. I guess this would be the outer side here, but they're going to want to fall out. The inner side is held in by a dust cap. It's not going to go anywhere, so you're good there. I'm going to put a towel down right here, slide this thing off, drop it. Alright, there it is. Slid right off without any problem. Here's the inner race set that wanted to fall free. Nothing wrong there. Definitely time for some new grease. Looking pretty nasty in there. Your other bearing set. I'm going to flip this guy over one-handed. It's right here. There's your dust cap that's holding it in. Don't need to worry about it falling off. It's not going anywhere. And that's it. Now I made this video kind of because I did a lot of looking and I couldn't find how to take this thing apart. All I have is a Chilton's manual. I'm a shade tree mechanic at best, and it just said, take the hub off. Yeah, easier said than done. Yeah, the magic is that thing right there, and if you didn't have that, you'd be screwed. And trying to find that was a real pain for me, but once you get it, you're good to go. So I hope this helps you if you needed it. Have a good one.